Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to There is an Angel for That. If this message has found you, I truly believe your angels have gently guided you here. So let's take a look at what the angels and what the forecast is for this week. Now, when I sat quietly with this week's energy, I want to say that I really didn't feel anything dramatic or anything urgent. What I felt was gentler, almost like something was being quietly adjusted behind the scenes. And when you take a look at what's actually happening in the sky and in astrology, this to me really makes perfect sense. All right, because first of all, like I mentioned last week, we are still going through Mercury retrograde. All right, again, I do not feel like this is a disruption. I see Mercury retrograde as an invitation. This is your gentle slowing down, right? It's asking us to revisit our plans, to reframe our perspective, to reorganize what feels scattered, to reconnect what truly matters. All the re's, lots of really good re's, things that you could do during a Mercury retrograde. All right. Now, the other event that we have going on, again, super exciting, depending on when you actually watch this video. But for me, tomorrow, Tuesday, we are going to be experiencing a total lunar eclipse, and it's going to be the full moon in Virgo. And this full moon normally goes by the name of the worm moon. So lunar eclipses, I always feel like they illuminate things, okay? They can bring something into the light. This is often something that we've already been sensing. It might have been there slowly brewing, but hasn't been fully acknowledged. And because this is happening in the sign of Virgo, that illumination may show up in a very, I want to say, practical areas of your life. You may suddenly see where a routine isn't supporting you anymore, or maybe where a schedule feels heavier than it needs to be. It could be those big ones like where you've been overgiving, or where you've been holding yourself to standards that, you know what, they just are no longer sustainable. Now, that worm moon, okay, that moon is going to remind us that growth happens underground, right? The soil softens, the roots strengthen, preparation happens before anything visible appears, right? Now, the other energy that I want to point out to you is that a couple of days ago, we just went into the month of March. So in February, we were leaving that 3 energy behind. And now in March, we're carrying the universal month 4 energy. And if you've ever heard me talk or you're in my group and you hear me on Angel Number Thursdays, 4 to me in numerology are all about, steadiness. They're about being grounded. They're about building that solid foundation. So I really feel like this is a week not to rush, but instead, this is a real week to realign. All right. So with that in mind, I do want to pull some cards like I did last week, just to see what the angels have to say and what messages that they want to bring in. So once again, I am going to use, I'm going to use my angel number deck here. I love it. I love the imagery. And I'm also going to pull, like we did last week, an angel feather card from this deck here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the angel number deck. Just clearing the deck, calling in Archangel Michael. And I'm going to give a quick shuffle here. Feel when to stop the energy. And let's see. Okay. The card that's pulled up here for us. Okay. Oh, super cool. I'm going to hold it up for you here. So the card we got is 1551. First things I see on the card, big, huge words on here. It talks about forward thinking. Now, I find this actually fascinating. The other words that we have on here are longing, technology, ambition, genius. Like there's a lot of really cool cards on here. But again, I find this fascinating because, right now the sky and astrologically, it's asking us to refine. Yet the number that we have on this card here, the first thing that I get for this is it's a number that carries that forward vision. All right. So to me, it feels like awareness, but this awareness, it's stretching just ahead of you, almost like you can see or sense something more. Now, what I love about this card as well, and I call this a mirror card because 1551, if you read it backwards, 1551, right? They're a mirror image of each other. So I really feel like for this card here, this card is really, it's not just about expansion, it's about reflection. This card, it really is asking you, is what you're building aligned with who you're becoming? Because this is that reflection piece, right? This is the part of you that may feel ready for what's next. But that eclipse energy, it reminds you to strengthen what supports that next step. And I always say vision without grounding can feel restless, right? And grounding without vision, to me, it usually feels stagnant. So I really feel like this week it's asking you to hold both, right? So let's see what I want to pull another card, just the angel feather card, to see how we tie all of this together. So again, I'm going to shuffle the cards and let's see what the beautiful angels want to tell us. There's so many beautiful cards and colors in this deck here. All right. So the card I pulled here is, oh, it's the brown. Oh my God, this is so cool. So it's the brown angel feather, and it says a practical approach is required. Wow, brown. So I just feel like so much of this ties together here. Just love how perfectly it lines, because brown is the color of earth. Brown is the color of soil, of roots, right? So during the worm moon, which we've been talking about, this is when the earth itself is softening. It's it's getting ready for growth, for the flowers, for grass, for whatever, right? So it's doing that preparation. And the symbolism of that, it just feels strong. Growth. So I really feel like what this card is saying is the growth, it's going to begin underground, underneath something that you can't quite see yet. Okay. So for me personally, this brown, this light brown color, it carries the energy of Archangel Sandalphon, right? When I teach it, one of the things that he can really help with, I call him the angel of grounding. So this is like so cool. So Archangel Sandalphon helps bring those big ideas back into the body, right? He steadies that nervous system. He anchors the vision into something tangible and real. So going back, looking at this card here, if this 1551 is expanding your awareness, then what I'm thinking here is this feather is reminding you to reground, right? Slow your breathing, put your feet on the ground if you can, go outside, get some fresh air, take a walk, right? But what I would say with this card, it's saying take one practical step, not 10. Take one practical step, because I always feel like grounding, it doesn't need to be, it's not meaning that it's anything small. Grounding for me is all about being supported. Okay, so those are the messages that we're getting in from these few beautiful cards, and I love it. The other thing I want to say here before we close, I'm just getting these visions of of a door. So when I was sitting with this week's energy, it just kept popping up. I just kept seeing it. And you know what, guys? It didn't feel random. And when it doesn't feel random, I know it's something that I need to talk about. So I got this strong nudge just now, sitting here, having angels and archangels sound of fun around, to share this with you. Whoever is here, whoever is watching this video, I really feel like this is meant for you and probably meant for me too. So what I would say to you is this week, you might begin to notice doors in a way that feels intentional, though. All right. You might see an image of a door online. You might see a repeated picture. You might hear a conversation about stepping through something, or it could even be a door in your environment that just suddenly stands out for you for no obvious reason. Okay. Now, of course, I want to say we all have doors in our house, in our homes. I'm not talking about your closet door, your bathroom door, things that you touch and see or see every day. I'm just talking about a door that's really good, something that's going to get your attention, or something that you'll see in pictures, or it could be something on TV. It could be something someone says. I'm not sure where it's going to come for you, but I'm just talking about those ones that get your attention. All right. The one that makes you pause. And you'll know that it'll make you pause. And when this happens, and I'm going to say when, because I just know it will, that is your cue. All right. This is when your angels are saying to you, they're highlighting that threshold that's forming in your life. Not necessarily telling you to rush through that door. That's not the message I'm getting. But what I'm hearing is to become aware of it. So I really feel like this week is less about pushing the door open, right? You don't need to turn the handle and push it open. It's more about strengthening yourself before you turn the handle. So all I would say to you is just stay open, stay aware. That's what I usually do when that happens. Or sometimes I just put my hands on my heart and say, thank you, angels, for reminding me of this message and for revealing to me what I need to know. I learned that from one of my first mentors, and I love it. And I say it every single day. All right. So I really feel like there is a message in here for anybody watching this about that door and that symbol. All right. Now, before we close, I just also want to mention that instead of trying to manifest anything this week, I have heard a lot of people saying, eclipses and manifesting. I'm not so sure about that energy. So you have to go with whatever energy works best for you. But I would say instead of trying to manifest something big during this eclipse, keep it simple, keep it grounded, because that's the energy that I'm feeling. That's the energy that I'm basically getting from the cards here. Sometimes this week, one of the things that I really feel would work or stand out for you, write down one habit or pattern that you're ready to release. Maybe that's something good that you can journal about, because I do feel eclipses will bring things up. So what's a pattern or a habit that you might be ready to release? Or what's one small daily adjustment that would bring more peace or order into your life? All right. So release the first, and then you can commit gently to the second. And you want to know why? Because that's very Virgo. That's the Virgo energy. And it's also very four. That's the very energy, the four of the building and the builder. All right. Very aligned. They're just so aligned with that. And again, Mercury, it invites realignment. So that eclipse brings clarity. Your 1115 is going to show you possibility. I feel like your brown feather reminds you to ground it in. All right. So this is not a rush week. Again, this is just for me. I would say this is a week of realignment. All right. So if something stood out for you, I would just love to hear it in the comments. Or if you do happen to come across this amazing door or a sign or a symbol or anything, please let me know. I love, love, love hearing what transpires from all of this. Okay. And if you enjoyed this Angel Message Monday, please like or subscribe, because I don't want you to miss next week's message. And again, thank you for spending your time and sharing your energy with me. And always, always remember, no matter what your situation is, there is an angel for that. So angel blessings to you all, and I will see you again next Monday. Bye for now.